17,000 subscribers divided by 58 million. 17,000 subscribers divided by 57 million followers. Do you know what percentage went? Do you guys really want to know? 0.003% went to want to subscribe to our channel. Did you understand what number I just said right now? To say they've lost their influence and their sizzle of what the Obamas used to be would be an understatement.
Behind the glossy speeches, best-selling books, and million-dollar Netflix contracts lies a persona built more on branding than substance. Patrick Bet-David tears apart Michelle Obama's carefully crafted image, exposing how influence was mistaken for leadership and celebrity was sold as change. What the media calls historic is, in Patrick's view, nothing more than a continuation of a political dynasty polished to perfection. He forces the audience to confront an uncomfortable truth. Michelle's legacy isn't built on groundbreaking achievements. It's built on marketing, disguised as meaning.
Bob, if you can play this clip, this is her talking about how expensive it was to live in the White House. Go for it.
It's expensive to live in the White House.
Yeah.
As many people don't know. Sure. I mean, much is not covered. You're paying for every food, every bit of food that you eat. You're not paying for housing and the staff in it, but everything, even travel. If you're not traveling with the president, if your kids are coming on a Bright Star, which is the First Lady's plane, we had to pay for their travel to be on the plane. It is an expensive proposition, and you're running for 2 years and not earning an income.
For years, Michelle Obama has polished her image as America's favorite former First Lady. But Patrick Bet-David isn't buying it. He dismantles the brand with surgical precision, exposing the contradictions, staged authenticity, and relentless self-promotion behind the relatable Michelle persona. In Patrick's words, she isn't just a former First Lady. She's a walking, talking business model, expertly designed to monetize influence and victimhood while wrapped in a celebrity gloss. And Patrick leaves no illusion standing.
Obama's net worth in 2007. What was Obama in 2007? 1.2 million, 1.3 million. Okay, so their net worth is, let's write this down. This is pre-White House. Their collective net worth was 1.3 million. Can you go to where their net worth was in 2016 when they're done being presidents? Okay, 2016. So their net worth, as expensive as it was, they went from being 1.3 million.
Michelle's rise to cultural icon status, Patrick argues, wasn't built on accomplishments. It was built on branding. She wasn't elected. She wasn't chosen by the people. She was simply married to the right man at the right time. Yet today, she parades around as if her opinions carry the weight of a global authority, expecting the world to hang on her every word. Patrick skewers this absurdity, highlighting how Michelle has transformed herself into a multi-million-dollar franchise, from Spotify deals and best-selling books to global speaking tours, all while claiming to represent ordinary struggles from the comfort of private jets and multi-million-dollar estates.
Right? So you watch, well, Rogan's interviewing other people. You're sitting there, and then you see panel. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? You can say whatever you want about The View. Guess what everybody talks about every week? The View. Why? Because here's what she said, here's what he said, here's what she said.
Right, yeah.
So they're bringing, even though you can't stand what they stand for, they bring, Tulsi on. They'll bring and have the fight with Stephen A. They'll bring and put the people on there, Junior and all these guys, and have the conversations with them. Of course, you don't agree with it. Michelle is doing a podcast from a standpoint of, you guys know who I am.
Michelle's relatable woman persona, Patrick argues, is one of the biggest cons in modern politics. She plays the role of the mom next door, the grounded woman who shops at Target and grabs lunch at Chipotle. But behind the photo ops lies a life surrounded by power, privilege, and luxury. Patrick calls out the hypocrisy. Michelle preaches humility and sacrifice, while collecting speaking fees larger than the average family's lifetime earnings. To Patrick, this isn't relatability, it's performance art crafted for an audience desperate to believe her sincerity.
Can you now go to their net worth today, 2025? What is the net worth today?
It's got to be worth a couple $100 million, no?
It's two numbers. You see 70 million to 250 million So $70 million to $250 million. If you type in a couple other places, you'll see $100 million, you'll see $70 million, but you'll see a couple ranges. But let's just stick to the $70 million. Pre-presidency, 1.7. So expensive being at the White House. It was so expensive that our net worth went from 1.3 million to 12.2 million 8 years later.
At the heart of Michelle's brand, Patrick argues, is a victimhood narrative disguised as empowerment. Her speeches are filled with stories of hardship, exclusion, and endless battles to be seen. But Patrick highlights the absurdity. This is a woman who attended Princeton and Harvard, lived in the White House, and now enjoys a life of unimaginable wealth. Yet, she convinces audiences she's still fighting the system. Patrick tears down this facade, framing Michelle's persona as the ultimate hustle, a billionaire's victim narrative brilliantly packaged for mass consumption.
Let me tell you what I think she's trying to do. And again, pure speculation, folks. I may be fully wrong here. I think she's taking a page out of Jada Pinkett's playbook. Because I think they're getting ready to announce that something's going on in the marriage. And I think this is their way of doing it in a very subtle way, because if you're taking shots at him slowly, you're taking shots, they're going in games in different ways. I'm not sure if there's been an entanglement or not, but I think there may be a possibility of a news coming here soon that could actually get her podcast to blow up. And you know what could get her podcast to blow up? If she announces that
Michelle claims she dislikes politics and prefers a private life. Yet, as Patrick points out, she can't stay out of the spotlight. Every election cycle, she returns to lecture voters, framing anyone who disagrees as dangerous. Patrick exposes her double game. Michelle positions herself as above politics, while still shaping its direction through carefully curated speeches. But Patrick goes further, ridiculing her condescending tone. He compares her to a school principal scolding students, reminding Americans how to think, act, and vote. The problem? She hasn't lived the average American struggle in decades. It's hard to take lessons on sacrifice from someone adjusting to life after the White House in a $12 million estate.
million copies of her book, 725 on day one, 8 million US, 14 million worldwide. Sometimes you got to watch your own content from back in the days and see what happened there. Now, don't get me wrong. If there is a divorce going on, if there is a challenge going on in the marriage, if there is something like that and you're going through it, look, it's an issue.
Michelle portrays herself as a champion of women, but Patrick dismantles the contradiction. Her platform is entirely built on the shadow of her husband's presidency, yet she lectures women on independence and empowerment as if she built her empire from scratch. Patrick calls out her ventures, documentaries, production deals, podcasts, framing them as vanity projects disguised as giving back. In reality, they're just revenue streams fueling the Obama brand. To Patrick, it's capitalism dressed as activism, and the audience eats it up without realizing they're paying to be lectured by someone completely detached from their reality.
Barack Obama makes shockingly honest admission about the state of his marriage to Michelle. Okay? So here we go. Barack Obama, shocking admission about the state of his marriage to Michelle. Go a little bit low, Rob, if you could. So everybody's wondering, like, you weren't there Jimmy Carter funeral, you weren't there Trump, and Michelle I'm talking about, and then you start a podcast with your brother. Barack Obama makes shocking admission about Michelle Obama. I was in deep deficit with my wife. He told Tepper, conversation Thursday. So I've been trying to dig myself out of that hole by doing occasionally fun things.
And then there's the constant speculation about Michelle running for president. She insists she has no interest. Yet, as Patrick points out, she never shuts the door. It's a classic power move. Deny the ambition to appear humble, but leave just enough mystery to maintain influence. Patrick sees through the act, highlighting how Michelle thrives on whispers of being the savior of the Democratic Party. Criticizing her, however, comes with risk. Michelle uses identity politics as a shield, ensuring any dissent is dismissed as prejudice. Patrick refuses to play along, calling her strategy emotional manipulation, where questioning Michelle equals questioning progress itself.
The Obama office responds to Trump's accusation of treason, outrageous. Let me read this to you. And Thomas Ellsworth, I'm coming to you first, so please be prepared with all your notes.
Ready.
Obama's office spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, great first name, rejected the office of the Director of National Intelligence. Reports claim that senior Obama administration officials orchestrated the Russia collusion hoax, stating, out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. And he called the allegations outrageous and ridiculous, a weak attempt of distraction.
Patrick Bet-David strips away the gloss and presents Michelle for what she truly is, a brand, not a leader. Her legacy isn't about policy, reforms, or ideas. It's about selling herself as a cultural phenomenon. Patrick exposes how she has mastered turning privilege into struggle, victimhood into marketing, and condescension into inspiration. Beneath the polished image lies the truth. Michelle is a celebrity monetizing politics without taking responsibility. While publicly claiming she's above politics, Patrick shows how she clings to relevance by quietly leveraging her influence, building a business empire out of victimhood, and convincing the world to cheer while she cashes the checks.
I don't need any of this crap. No, nothing. Obama was silent. Why is Obama silent? Ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
He's above this.
Or maybe he's deep in it. Maybe he's not above it, he's deep in it. And so he sends a spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, which is what Obama doesn't do. He's never Rodenbush, is got an issue here.
What was that?
Now he goes, the office of the presidency and the office. So they're speaking in third person. Whenever you have people in Washington that are cornered, they speak in third person.
Patrick doesn't stop at Michelle's contradictions. He zooms out to reveal what her popularity says about modern politics. Michelle, someone who has never run for office, never passed legislation, and never debated policy, is still treated as a serious contender. Patrick argues this perfectly illustrates a culture obsessed with celebrity over substance. Politics has become influencer marketing, and Michelle is its most polished product. Her relatability is a carefully crafted illusion. She speaks about struggle while sipping fine wine in Martha's Vineyard and complains about the weight of public life from her multi-million-dollar mansions. Patrick's verdict? Michelle's ordinary woman act is a performance designed to tug at emotions, not deliver solutions.
If all of a sudden the Dems did flip in August and they put a Newsom Michelle combination, do you know what mainstream media would do with that? CNN, what Jimmy Fallon, Colbert, all these podcasts, the Oprah Winfrey, the NBA, LeBron.
Forget it.
Do you know what Taylor Swift, do you know what these guys would be doing? It would be bonkers. By the way, if it is Michelle and Newsom, it's going to...
Michelle's political influence, Patrick argues, isn't built on ideas or achievements, but on weaponized nostalgia. The Obama years are remembered as glamorous and historic, yet the reality, stagnant wages, endless wars, and growing division, tells a different story. Michelle is the glossy filter over messy reality, thriving because people prefer the fantasy. Patrick goes deeper, explaining how Michelle embodies the Democratic Party's obsession with image over substance. Every time her name is floated as a candidate, Patrick sees desperation, not hope, a sign the party has no new ideas, no fresh talent, and no solutions beyond recycling familiar icons. Michelle, he argues, isn't the savior of politics. She's the symbol of its creative bankruptcy.
Obama's second term, he did none. Obama's first term, I think he did one. And Bush's first and second term, he did none on day one. This guy's come out the gates. One moment he's talking to World Economic Forum. Another second you're looking at him, he's talking to California, chewing out, Bass and Mayor Bass and talking to the folks there. Next minute he's in Vegas talking about no tax on tips. Next minute you're seeing him talking to military folks. Next minute you're seeing him on the media.
What makes Patrick's roast so effective is how easily Michelle's contradictions collapse under scrutiny. She claims to reject politics, yet stays politically relevant. She says she's tired of the spotlight, but never steps out of it. She frames herself as an outsider while being one of the most connected elites in the world. Patrick doesn't exaggerate these contradictions. He simply exposes them. Michelle's entire post-White House career, he argues, is built on monetizing fame while pretending to resist it. While her supporters see her as inspirational, Patrick calls it inspiration without substance. Hope became her brand, but as Patrick points out, slogans are not legacies, and Michelle leaves little behind but ticket sales, book deals, and media contracts.
There's this story about Michelle Obama starting a podcast. And I kind of want to go through this, Michelle Obama's podcast. And her and her brother, they started a podcast. They look like twins. If you want to... No, I'm actually not being sarcastic.
Yeah, well, if she
Rob, what is this, Rob?
Where's her
This
brother?
is the announcement of the podcast.
Okay, play the clip. Maybe this will help out a little bit with subscribership. Go ahead and play the clip.
Hey TikTok, it's Michelle Obama and I'm here with my big brother Craig.
Hey everybody.
We're here because we're excited to announce the launch of our new
have so many opinions
podcast
about
called
this.
Patrick delivers his final blow by framing Michelle Obama as the perfect product of a broken political system. In today's world, branding outweighs achievement, narrative overshadows reality, and image becomes everything. Michelle, Patrick argues, isn't a stateswoman. She's a lifestyle brand. She isn't a leader. She's a curated fantasy. By the end, Patrick dismantles not just her image, but the entire illusion surrounding her untouchable status. What remains isn't the shining icon sold by the media, but the truth of a figure built on presence without purpose, applause without achievement, and power without accountability. Patrick ensures Michelle's carefully polished myth collapses under the weight of reality. And once it does, it's unforgettable.